Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and a link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show increases the live audience, of course, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Nummy, Sleeping Warrior, Adam and Mark. How are you all doing?
Looking forward to round two. Ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
We're doing well, thank you.
Good to have you, Mark.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Excellent, Nummy. Adam, last but not least.
Yeah, excited about a coherent explanation.
You're joking then, right? We're not going to get any coherent explanations. We'll get fantasy and presupposition. That's what we'll get.
Well, it's a lovely afternoon, so maybe not a bad time for a story then.
Indeed. Just so stories what we could all do with at this time of day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So go on then, put the link out and let's see if we can get the rumpus or Ruhiff in.
Okie doke.
See what these two morons think.
See how super keen they are.
I've got to say that 5-minute break's great.
Yeah, it's grown on me a lot too. I was umming and ahhing of whether or not to do it in the first place. Did it as a test run and it's now like, oh, it's lovely. Have a cup of coffee. Marvellous.
We've always done it, mate. I mean, we go 3 hours and that, but even on a 2-hour show, just it's all right for the listeners, but it's actually nice just to stop for a minute, like I say, grab a cup of coffee and then come back, rather than what you're trying to do otherwise is sit there thinking, can I make it to the kettle and back before I need to make a point? Do you know what I mean? Or if I'll miss something. So it's something we've always done.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Is it better viewer-wise as well? Are you breaking it up into two distinct shows, or are you just building a pause in it? Or does
No,
it
it's definitely two shows,
or...
and it is better for viewers, considerably so, actually. So it depends how you look at it. So if you look at each show individually, you go, oh, well, they're getting less views because they'll get 800 or 900, sometimes 1,000 views. And previously, each show got 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. Some of them went up, if they were really good, up to 2,000 views. But then when you consider that there's two of them, you're getting 1,900 views a day. Well, that's a considerable amount. Hey, Charles. Hey, Plain Truth. Beep, beep. Is that actually Charles? You there, Charles? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm sorry. I have to mute my watch.
No worries, no worries. Hey, Wiggles, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Nathan. I'm Wiggles.
Good. Good to have you.
Good, how are you, Nathan?
Okay.
Yes, are we going to continue discussing the mountain, or what's the plan?
Well, we're looking for a Just So story.
A Just So story?
Yeah.
What's a Just So story?
Well, Nathan, go on, tell him. You can do this bit.
Well, you tell us why we can see the mountain, and then we'll figure out whether or not your explanation is in any way scientifically valid or not.
Well, the proof is you just take if you take any plane and intersect it with any globe, you will get a circle. And on that circle, you can do some planar geometry. And I've done some planar geometry to calculate how much of the mountain should be visible.
Right, so just for the audience's benefit, Wiggles is already putting us on a sphere with no proof of sphericity. So we're already working with a sphere, are we, Wiggles?
Okay, yeah. So which assumption do you want to start with, Nathan? What assumptions do you want to start with that we all agree on? Because that's the only way you can have a debate.
No. Your only position is to presuppose that you're on a sphere. Let's not tell us that we can't have a debate without you making presuppositional arguments now. Let's not do that now, Wiggles. Let's not tell me what I have to do. You have to presuppose that you're on a sphere. Immediately. That's what you've just done.
I can presuppose I'm on a flat plane if you want.
Right, do you understand what a fallacious argument is, Wiggles?
Yes.
Do you understand what begging the question is, Wiggles?
You might have to refresh my mind.
Right, begging the question is where you presuppose your outcome, i.e. inserting the very thing you are trying to prove at the beginning of your argument. So saying we use geometry is begging the question. You're automatically assuming you're on a sphere without actually proving it in the first place. That is called begging the question, presupposing
Nathan,
the very thing you are trying to prove.
Is it possible that we can discuss Alyssa Craig without that discussion serving as proof of a sphere?
You tell me. You're the one trying to prove a sphere, Charles. You tell me.
You know, like without one person saying, "Oh, well, that doesn't prove a sphere." Well, what if the guy wasn't trying to prove the sphere? He was just trying to have an intelligent conversation about the mountain.
No, he was trying to. Its claim was he's demonstrating curvature.
Well, one possibility is that if you take a look at that imagery of the mountain and you say this proves that we're on a flat plane, like I think that's been your argument. You're like, well, this is wonderful footage from Al K because it's more flat Earth proof. This is more flat Earth proof. And then what somebody else comes on and says, well, you know, let's take a look at this in another way, because if the Earth were a globe, there's the presupposition. Well, then the observation actually does make sense.
Right, I'll just say it again. Presupposing your outcome is a fallacious argument. Why would we have a fallacious argument on this debate?
No, well, it's not a fallacious argument. It's just an intelligent discussion.
No, it's a presuppositional argument that begs the question, therefore fallacious. Do you not understand what a fallacious argument is?
But I think
an argument using a fallacy, Charles. If you just want to stutter, that's fine. I'll just point it out. Yeah? You're begging the question. I want you to prove to me we're on a sphere.
Nathan,
that's what this debate is about, Charles.
What your presupposition is, Nathan, is that anything that comes out of the mouth of a globe Earth proponent is attempting to be proof of a globe. And that's a presupposition. That is absolutely false.
Not at all. That's what Wiggles has just done. He's just begged the question and presupposed that we're on a sphere. He told us.
No, that's not begging the question.
That is precisely begging the question. It presupposes your outcome. You're trying to prove you're on a sphere. So if you start telling me that you're going to measure what's on a sphere, you're already on a sphere. So what's the point in trying to prove you're on a sphere if you're already measuring sphericity? That's fallacious.
Nathan.
It's called presupposition. It's called begging the question. It is a fallacious argument.
Nathan, what if we're not trying to prove we're on a sphere?
Then what the hell are you doing here? Sod off then.
No.
Sod off.
Nathan.
Excuse me, did you not hear me? If you're not here to prove the sphere, and you're not here to argue that it's flat, what the hell are you doing here?
Well, trying to prove that it's possible. Right?
What's possible?
Trying to prove that it's possible.
What's possible?
If you take a look at the
What's
imagery,
possible? Are you deaf? What's possible?
That a globe Earth.
So you're saying it is a sphere, you complete muppet? Are you that deluded? So you've just told me if we're not going to argue that it's a sphere, and then in the very next breath told me that it could be. Are you retarded?
No, Nathan, there's no need for you to be so angry.
There's no need for you to condescend me.
Well, but the thing is, the key is
just
the word
don't
proof.
stutter. You're here to prove it's a sphere, so don't beg the question. Do you get it? It's a fallacious argument.
Nathan, my
don't
one opposition...
stutter around my name, Charles. Charles, you are begging the question. Charles, do you get it? You're begging the question, Charles.
I'm not.
It's a fallacious argument, Charles. Charles, do you get it, Charles? You're begging the question, Charles. It's a fallacious argument, Charles. Do you get it, Charles?
Oh my goodness. All right. Would you like me to come back in a week when you settle down? Because I think you're a little too triggered.
Me? I'm perfectly fine. I'm just not accepting any fallacious arguments.
Upset, Nathan. You're extremely upset.
Oh, really? Am I?
I would love to have a conversation.
Oh,
with you.
really? I'm so upset.
I would love to have a conversation.
This is me with tears, is it? Oh,
Lately,
no, I'm so upset that Charles has come here
and
and used fallacious arguments to prove his bullshit religion. Oh, no, I'm so upset. What will I do?
So Nathan, is it possible to have a conversation with you without you screaming?
Is it possible for you to have a conversation where you don't beg the question and presuppose your outcome?
But I'm not begging the question because the last thing I would try to do is prove something that is unprovable.
So
we could be in a...
What's unprovable? Sorry, that was an interesting statement. What are you claiming is unprovable?
The shape of the Earth.
Really? So what are you doing here?
There is
what are you doing here then? What are you doing here then?
I'm trying.
Why are you laughing at me? I'll ask it for a fourth time. What the hell are you doing here if you don't think it's possible to prove something that is taught in your school?
Well, but you have to understand the nature.
Excuse me, answer my question. Why are you teaching this shit to children if it can't be proven?
Well, first off, I teach math, okay?
Sorry, do you ever teach the sphericity of Earth in your mathematics?
I have Euclid's elements here. What's your name, that math teacher?
Charles.
Charles, nice to meet you. I have Euclid's elements right here.
Yes, I teach geometry. I teach algebra.
Right, so I'll ask it again. Now we've just got that established. Part of Globe Maths is using geometry, something that will be applied later in life if they believe they're on a sphere. So, Charles, I want to know why you tell your children this.
Oh, you're going to love this, Nathan. My son draws pictures of the 9 planets. Yes, I count them 9 every single day. He draws pictures.
Those are lights in the sky.
And his
so what?
favorite
I can see lights. If my daughter painted pictures of the lights in the sky, I wouldn't be in the slightest bit concerned. What I'm asking specifically is why you tell your children they are on a sphere Earth when you have just declared to my audience, about 130 people, that you can't prove it.
Right, that's correct. I cannot prove it, but
so why do you teach it?
In a heliocentric.
Why do you teach it then? You're ignoring my question. Why is it you are telling children that the Earth is a sphere?
Because it is.
Sorry, you've just made it clear that you can't prove that.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta be careful.
Sorry, I'm going to ask it again. Why are you telling children unproven nonsense?
Nothing is proven then, Nathan. We can't prove anything.
Excuse me, who the hell was talking to you, Rumpus?
And Charles, we're basically in caveman ages right now. Like, we're not accepting
Excuse me, Wiggles.
As axiom.
Same thing. Is your name Charles? Why are you teaching unproven facts to children?
Because there are no proven facts.
Shut up, Rumpus, or I'll kick you out.
Fine, do so.
I will.
Fine.
But Nathan, I really want you to understand the nature of scientific proof.
I understand science. I want to answer to my question of why you are teaching unproven information to children.
Well, if it's true, then...
It's not true. We've just established that. You can't prove it. We've just established that. Let's not postulate if it's true when we've just established that you cannot prove it. I don't want to hear the if it's true argument. I want to know why you're teaching children something that is not proven. Why aren't you teaching them facts?
Because it's true.
It's not true.
It's factual.
You've just established you can't prove it. You've just told the audience you can't prove it. This is not a proven fact, is it?
Charles, you are doing an appeal to authority. I mean, you're appealing to the right authority. I'm not going to debate that for a second.
Excuse me, Wiggles. Sorry, Wiggles, shut up.
Nathan, this is unacceptable. You can't treat people like this.
I'll do what the hell I like, Dawn. I'm asking Charles, an apparent teacher, why he teaches children unproven facts. That is what my question is, and I've got nothing but obfuscation of that question so far. I don't want to hear your obfuscation, Dawn, and I don't want to hear Wiggles' obfuscation. I want a direct question to why unproven facts are being taught to children by this man.
So, these unproven facts are, in fact, true. Now,
that's nonsense. That is a double negative. An unproven fact cannot be true. It is unproven. So, I keep asking the same question and you keep obfuscating it and dancing around it like it is true, like it is proven, like it is a fact.
Nathan,
all I'm interested in is why you're teaching nonsense, unproven information to children. Why are you doing that? It is not proven. You have declared it.
Well, but it's true. So
Sorry, proven would be true. If there was proof of it, it would be true. I would accept it as true if there was proof. If you are to assert it is true, I want proof.
Well, you could prove it to yourself, Nathan.
No. We've had 2,000 years of assertion of this taught to children by people like you. Now I want to know why 2,000 years of nonsense, unproven, you can go and prove it to yourself, facts are being taught as though they were true to children by people like you.
Well, do you have an alternative that is true?
Yeah, the alternative is you don't teach them things that are unproven. That is the alternative. You don't assert things to be true when they are not. You don't assert that things are proven when they are not. You only teach proven facts to children because they are useful. Unproven nonsense is just a religion.
But Nathan, it looks like you don't understand the nature of scientific proof.
Yeah, I understand the scientific method. And if you have any scientific proof of the radius, for example, you would have already presented it rather than talking over me and telling me I can go out and prove it to myself.
So informally, you could prove that the Earth is a globe.
I'm not interested in what you... Why are you teaching informal facts, i.e. unproven facts, i.e. religious dogma, to children? Why am I having to ask this over and over again? Why?
Well, because it's true.
It's not. Unproven is not true. Do you not get it? What part of retarded are you? Unproven is not true, Charles. Why are you deluding yourself?
Nathan, if you could do a quick search for does scientific proof exist or something like that, or is it,
yeah, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
Right.
Validated by scientific experiment, Charles.
That is a fact. But
yeah,
you cannot
validated by science. Cause and effect relationships have been established when making that assertion made by Arwin. Now, we have asked for scientific evidence of the R value in your bullshit religious belief that you live on a sphere.
I could do it informally, Nathan.
I'm not interested in formally. I'm asking for scientific evidence.
Oh, sure. I give you tons of scientific evidence.
Oh, really? Have you now?
Now
What
we're
is
getting
it?
somewhere.
Oh,
Yes,
really? That sounded like a high-pitched lie to me.
As long as you don't call it...
Oh, you dropped in tone now. Sorry, have you presented scientific proof of sphericity? Do you want to present it again then?
Evidence.
Scientific evidence. Something that conforms to the scientific method. I can understand that as a mathematician you may not understand this fully, Charles. I do.
Okay, so scientific evidence. Let's start with the stars. So everybody can look up at the stars, and everybody who is in even as far north as London can see a significant portion of the constellations. I don't know, you could see like maybe 60-70% of the constellations in the span of a year.
Yeah, really cool. And when I Google satellite, I get really nice CGI images of satellites.
So you could map them out. Get a nice go to a park. Maybe an hour's drive from London. Away from city lights, and you can actually map out the visible eye constellations.
Sorry, I'm asking for scientific evidence. So step one in the scientific method, Charles, would be observe a phenomenon. So please, can you explain to me what is the observed phenomenon in this experiment that you are conducting? Obviously, it's an experiment. We're scientific, right?
And to the right, and above.
Sorry,
and below
Charles.
Every other
Charles,
constellation.
what is the observed phenomenon?
Right, listen, I've just...
No, hold on, Anthony. Hold on. What is the observed phenomenon in this experiment? Scientific is what we're doing here, right?
He's gone. He's gone. We're not going anywhere with this conversation. This is just... It's going round in circles again. He's not answering questions. He's talking philosophically, and we're trying to talk empirically. And
He's
at the end of the day, he
around.
won't accept your position. Now, forget Rumpus. Dawn's in. Let's deal with Dawn. Are you there, Dawn?
I don't see Dawn.
No.
Oh, he was in. He must have dropped. The thing is, Charles isn't going anywhere with the conversation because he won't answer the question. What he should have said was, I teach this to children because I get paid to lie, or at least get paid. That's what he should have said. He's not going to say that. So he's never going to answer your question.
I don't mind. I would have held him to the ropes for the whole show.
I know, but I want to try and deal with this observation of Al K's because it's better to argue that about how great it is for flat Earth than it is to argue philosophy with flat Earth math. The nice guy that he is, pleasant guy, Come on, let's stay on flat Earth because this is much more interesting.
Fair enough.
Although Dawn's not here. I didn't realise Dawn wasn't here. I thought Dawn was here, so I should have probably kept him in. But ultimately, we're going round in circles talking about philosophy. We want to talk about evidence. We want to talk about why the Earth appears to be flat.
I agree that the Earth appears to be flat upon first glance. I agree with that.
Great. So
And upon
can we get back
second
to the mountains?
All glances.
Hey Milo
I
Lugo,
feel like
first time
we
on the
went
show.
through
Hello,
the
hold on.
mountain
Hello Milo, first time you've been on. Good to have you. Can you hear us?
1 second.
Good
Hello.
to have you. Hello, good to have you. Nice, first time you've been on, I believe.
Can you guys hear me?
We do. Thanks for being here. Good to have you.
It's a little robot-y. Damn.
Yeah, hey Wiggles, the Earth doesn't look flat on first glance. It looks flat on all glances.
Agreed.
The only way it doesn't look flat is if you imagine it to be a globe.
I don't. Okay, all glances. You're going to have to define all glances. You're going to have to define your universe of discourse.
Every
there.
observation, all of them.
What about the observation from the? Well, have you looked at the Earth from every single observation?
Yeah, I've been all over the world in aeroplanes.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
sorry, who's talking now? So I know
Within
names,
reason,
like,
I'd say yes to that question. Have you seen a lot of the
Balloon
world? Well,
footage,
obviously no one can see
very-
all of the world. That would be impossible. But I would like to think that I've seen a vast proportion of the world, enough to make an educated guess on what it looks like from many, many, many vantage points.
No, but have you looked at it from, like, have you jumped thousands of feet in the air and looked at the Earth?
Sorry, 30,000 feet. That's pretty high, I would say.
No, but have you jumped a million
Sorry,
miles?
jumped. I'm not a flea. What the hell are you talking about?
Good question.
This is the set of all perspectives.
You
look
have
at the
no
Earth
proof that it even does look like a ball if you go a million
Do you know
miles
what
up.
height?
Sorry, what's your
Wiggles?
name, though, that I'm talking to that sort of has this kind of like German-ish accent?
Yeah, I've asked you.
What's your name?
Why is it that you're asking me about jumping 1,000
Oh.
feet in the air? This is nonsense.
Because
No, I was asking the other guy.
He's presupposing a globe, so he has to jump up high enough to prove that it's a globe. That's the only reason why he's taking you beyond 30,000 feet. The only reason is because he knows it's a globe, and you have to get higher.
Yeah, you have to go where
Yeah,
you
but-
can't go. So
Yeah, but hang on.
it's very
At
nice.
30,000
I'm talking to Arwen right now, sorry.
gents, at 30,000 feet, we see the curve on Google Earth.
Yeah, but what
Hey,
about
Sly,
a
can you hear
million
us?
miles away? What about
Hold on
from
a second,
Jupiter?
sorry.
These are
Hey,
all
Sly,
You
can you hear
even
us?
go there.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on, guys.
That's
hey,
a
Sly.
presupposition.
Hold on.
No, no,
Hold on. I just need to say hello to our new guest. Hey, Sly, how you
Okay.
doing? Can you hear us?
Hello, Sly. Speak up.
Maybe drop and rejoin if it is Sly. If we lose the whole hangout.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? Hello?
Push can. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the last hangout, you
guys
guys
hear-
showed a picture of.
We can't hear you, Sly. Maybe drop and rejoin. We just heard a minor interruption from you.
Yeah,
Connection.
well, what I was going to ask. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, red screen Sly. Yes, we can
Hello.
hear you.
All I was going to ask a couple minutes ago, that other picture back.
Yeah, your connection
that-
sucks. You're obviously on a mobile and your
two-
connection sucks.
Can't hear you, Sly. You're
there's
just
a mountain,
roboting.
and then
Can't hear you, Sly. You're just roboting.
Yeah, you're dropping too many bits. You're dropping too many packets.
Too many
You're-
bits.
you're- too many. Yeah, the internet sends information in bits, and not enough bits of the audio recording of Sly is getting to us. So
And bytes. Don't forget the bytes.
bytes, bits, same thing. There's 8 bits in a byte.
actually packet.
Yeah, and packets are composed of bytes.
There's some ones and zeros somewhere in that equation. I'm sure of it. Anyway,
There
moving
are.
on.
Bit is a 1 or
Moving
0.
on.
I guess I can't get to you from here.
Yeah, you're also your
You guys
your
hear-
high end is kind of shitty, so we can't really make out your S's and your T's and your S's because your high end is shit.
I do love a show where
Milo
we
was gonna
analyse
ask
the
a
quality
question
of Sly
before-
Sparkane's
Yeah.
broadband. Wonderful, wonderful show.
Yeah. Sorry.
What was your question?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up about the Ailsa Craig Island. Was that the name of the mountain?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you guys were looking at. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture from not too far away, and it's looking a little different from the observation that Anthony showed. I don't know if you guys could if you could share my screen, I'd show you the difference, the pretty big difference.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nathan,
Okay.
Nomi is asking, can you join him on Skype? Could you add him on Skype?
Yeah, sure.
Am I presenting right now? Can you guys see my screen?
No, we're just seeing your icon.
Or
No, we're just seeing your three-dimensional icon there, Mark.
Oh, now, can you hear me now?
How do I show?
Oh no, you're the dog. Sorry.
How do I show my screen?
Green button in the left upper corner.
Thanks.
Great.
Like this.
I see it. Okay. All right. So okay, can you guys see now what I'm showing?
Yep, we've got you now.
Like I'm sharing the screen.
All right.
now.
So on the left, you see what it's supposed to look like, and on the right, you see what Anthony presented earlier, and I'm pretty sure you guys can, without me having to explain, is a pretty clear difference. If anybody could tell me what they see.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, it's
squashed.
called observer height difference.
Huh?
Looks squashed.
Observer height difference. I bet your
Observer-
picture is not taken from ground level.
You're also at a different
Excuse me?
angle, so you're seeing a different profile slightly. That's adding to the difference as well.
No, this is the photo on the left is from the same observation than the photo on the right. Riley showed us like an image.
Oh, the left and the right.
of
I
his
thought you meant
observation.
top and bottom. Sorry.
Can you see? So what exactly is happening on the right side? What is your guys' explanation for that?
It's being converged.
It's obviously shorter.
It's being
Huh?
converged because it's being squashed, subject to the rules of perspective.
Right. It's being squashed up and down. Why isn't it being squashed left and right? Why isn't it be squashed like it's actually wider and shorter?
That's proof that it's being squashed.
Yeah, but why is it wider and shorter rather than
Because of
perspective? This, if you're in a long hallway, you see all the walls converging into one point, right? You don't see the top and bottom squashing.
Have we
Well,
established the same
Yeah, you
viewpoint?
do on the
viewers
horizon.
point here?
You do at distance on the horizon, and it doesn't even have to be a vast distance. It doesn't even have to be a vast distance. If you observe from low the horizon, you get an effect of it squashing at the convergence point. It doesn't even have to be a very far distance.
Yeah, and the
Things
photo
squash on the
you're
horizon.
presenting has been taken from a lot closer by, and a different height.
So there is squashing going on, right?
Yeah, so?
It's in the middle of the refraction zone.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. They can only be squashing on a flat plane, though. There's no explanation for
Right.
squashing on a sphere.
No, that's not true.
So, where's the
That's not
curved
true.
earth blocking it? Why aren't we seeing 200 feet as the curves maths would suggest?
Yeah.
What's going
If
on?
it's a globe, you should be seeing C. And that's it.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true either.
right. That's right. We shouldn't see any of it if it's a globe.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true. Do you understand that
I
geometry?
don't mind getting into this conversation.
Maybe a
should we
little
see all
peek.
of it or should we see a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
of it?
not true.
But it makes no difference if we should see a tiny bit of it or none of it. What we're seeing is basically all of it. So what difference does it make? If you think we should see 200 feet...
What you're seeing is 200 feet of it, and the rest is being squashed up.
Sorry,
That's
you
what you're
reckon
seeing.
that we're seeing 200 feet and then 200 feet's being loom squashed? Are we going to have super looming squashing
yeah,
going on?
up.
So what's
No,
the
no,
term
no.
for that? What's the technical term?
No. Watch, I'll show you right now. Hold up.
Loom squashing.
Right.
Yeah, just
Again, though, that's
Alright.
that's one of those things where you're
it
suggesting
out.
it's filling in the
200.
gap, and that,
Where would 200 feet be?
that's
on
denying
this
then
island?
that the peak's moved and the peak's not in the place it should be if it is on a ball. So you can't fill in the gap and say the top of the peak's not. That doesn't.
Look, this bottom half right here is being loomed up, and it's squashing the
You're not
image.
presenting
That's
anymore.
why it's.
But the top of the peak is where it is. Is that what you're saying? And it's only the.
All right. Do you see the peak on this side, right here?
Yeah.
This and this bottom section is being pulled up. That's why it's wide. See?
Hold up, like a mirage. That's an
Wide.
illusion. It's an illusion, right?
Ah,
Not-
finally, so we have some consensus. Wiggles couldn't admit to it, but now we've got this guy Milo saying it's a mirage.
You guys are saying
right?
it's an illusion too.
The mirage.
No, we're not
It's
saying
not really
it's
there.
What's your
It's being
objection?
distorted.
Yeah,
it's not an illusion.
But it's not
It's-
really there.
It's not a mirage.
It's behind the
It's not what
Hold on,
we're saying.
Arwin. I've been trying to get to this
You're
point with
seeing
bloody
something
Wiggles. Oh, God, now you're talking over me. So, what you're saying, Milo, is we can't physically see it because obviously the Earth curve's in the way. It's not physically there, correct? It's a mirage.
Excuse me?
Hello?
Wiggles
Yeah,
keeps
repeat
interrupting you
yourself,
by breathing on the mic. Wiggles, can you please mute while you're not speaking, please?
Oh, sorry, no, I was adjusting my mic. It'll be silent now. You don't have to worry.
Right, so what Wiggles could not concede, and we went round in circles, Milu's now slipping in like it's some sort of obviousness. So you're saying we can't physically see it because there's an earth bulge in the way. It's not really there. It's being loomed up from behind the Why can't you let me get to the end of my sentence? I know this is annoying for you fantasists. It's a lot of work for you guys to do. I get it. But I need you to actually accept that it ain't really there. What we're seeing on screen isn't actually there. It's blocked by Earth curve. Therefore, it's a physical anomaly. A mirage. Right, Milo?
Only some of it.
Some of it. Okay, so you're saying only some of it, right? So it's a squashed super looming effect, right? But ultimately speaking, however many hundreds and hundreds of feet that we do see isn't really there, right, Milo?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying the same thing.
What do you mean, yeah, but I just need you to give me a concise answer. Yes, I accept the fantasy that what we see is not in fact there.
Your position is the same.
No, I say we see it. It's obviously bloody there. It's on a photograph. My position is not that it's a bloody mirage, you moron. It's slightly squashed. Slightly squashed because it's on the horizon.
Okay, can you see?
An effect I can see at multiple distances, in multiple conditions, on multiple days, from multiple vantage points. I do not in any way assert that it's being brought back from some bullshit curve.
Okay. All right.
So no, I'm asking you. Can you just concede that what you think you see, i.e. it's in a photograph, isn't really there? Right, Milu?
Can you see my screen?
Just answer my question.
It is there.
No, 90% of the mountain is behind an Earth curve in your mind. A bullshit model that tells you with mathematics that there's a bulge in the way. Now you're trying to account for why something that physically is not possible to be seen is actually seen. I want you to tell me about the stuff that shouldn't be there, right? Because we can't see it. Do you first accept? Hold on, let's ask a different question.
Now, looming is very local.
Looming is possible.
Do you accept, Milu? Hold on, let's take it one step back, Arwin.
How do you know?
Hold on. Do you accept, Milu, or not?
Because we have
the
examples
Earth
of
curve is
actual
blocking the view. Do you accept that?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, God, I'm having cross
you guys see
purposes
my
with
screen?
Arwin now. Thanks a bunch. Do you accept?
Can you guys see my screen?
Can you just answer my question? Do you
I'm
accept that
trying to
there's
make a point.
every time I try and ask
Can you
it, you
just see my
talk over me. It's getting really frustrating. Do you accept, and you're doing it again, do you accept that there is an Earth curve obscuring the view of about 90% of that mountain?
It's actually 100% of the mountain. None of it.
For the love of God, Anthony.
Can be seen.
Can you just let me get to this concession from him? Why is it that I'm being obfuscated by now Anthony and Darwin? Milu, do you accept that it is not physically possible to see approximately 90% of that mountain or more on your bullshit fantasy religion world?
It's not.
Right, Milu, you need to.
And Anthony, for the love of God, just let him answer and stutter.
Me better. I'm sorry.
Milu, I'll try once more. Do you
No, I heard your
accept that there is an earth curve obscuring your view of 90% of the mountain that we do see in the photographs.
I
Hey, no,
accept that
sorry.
there's obstruction. Can I talk? Accept that there's obstruction in the way, but that there is looming on our model. You guys
Sorry.
ignore this.
There is looming. Does there is looming
Yes.
mean that you accept what I have
Where
asked
it
you?
looms.
Stop telling me about bloody looming, right? And answer my question. Do you accept...
But you have to ignore looming in order...
Looming? What the hell are you talking about? I haven't got to the refraction nonsense yet. I'm trying to establish with you what you should and shouldn't see. Do you accept there is an earth curve?
Yes.
Shut your mouth and just listen to me, you dumbass. Shut your mouth and listen to my question once.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Do you accept... Do you accept there is an earth curve obscuring your view of 90% of the mountain that is in that picture?
About 85%, sorry.
I'm going to have to interject.
There is obstruct. There is.
Anthony, why are you doing this?
Yes.
Freaking hell, dude.
Right. Jesus Christ, I just want a concise answer from him.
Yes, there is obstruction caused by earth, and the rest is being loomed up.
Sorry, why isn't it obstructed
Not
then?
all of the rest.
He's even laughing about it.
There's
Some of
three
the rest,
parts.
yeah.
The top you can see, the loomed part, and the obstructed part. There are 3 parts. Just want to clarify everyone's splitting of
I need to clarify this. None of that mountain should be seen, Nathan. Not 90% of it, not 85% of it, none of it.
You're wrong.
No,
Anthony, you're wrong. You're wrong,
none of it
Anthony.
should be
That's
seen.
it, dude.
Right, none of it should
Dude,
be
you're wrong.
seen.
You're wrong. You're
Let me
wrong.
present my screen, Nathan, and let me show.
You're wrong.
You're welcome to also
Obstruction
present your screen
orangutan.
anytime.
Nathan, present my screen, please.
You're on.
Right. This is the first picture the guy took from 38 miles. It was 38 point something miles. I rounded it down to 38. On a ball, a sphere, without any refraction whatsoever, there is 1,000 feet of drop, but there is also 253 feet of bulge between you and the thing in the target. None of it can be seen. That's the geometric position. Not 90% of it, not 85% of it. None. It's
Dude,
only when
how
you
is
come
there-
back to the
how is there-
sphere.
How is there 253 feet and a 1,000-foot drop? How does that make sense?
This is your model.
Yeah, this is our globe model.
This is the model. You have a bulge of water between you and it. It's documented on the Metabunk Curve Calculator website. But that bulge is 253 feet, and it's only half the distance away. The mountain is...
All right,
is
I have a
dropped
question for you,
1,000
Anthony.
feet. Wait, hang on. The mountain has dropped 1,000 feet, so you're left with 200 feet, but it's double the distance away. So it's smaller. The bulge is greater in size because it's half the distance away.
Okay.
So perspective means that all of this mountain is hidden, not 85% of it, not 90% of it, all of it.
Right. Okay, so can I ask you a question now?
Certainly.
Take your mouse and side of that mountain on the top.
Take my mouse and do what?
To the left side of that, to the bottom left of that mountain, that corner, that little corner right there.
What I'll do is I will open the same file, but I'll open it in Paint so that we can annotate it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, perfect. Do that.
So would it help if I drew a straight line in?
No, I just want you to draw a red dot at the corner, bottom corner of any of those 2 pictures.
Probably use the paintbrush tool.
You would say that there's land there, right? Or no?
I would say that there's land there or no. Of course, there's land there.
Okay, cool, great. A sniper that can shoot a straight projectile, endless amount of distance, and you were to shoot straight at that corner, would you hit?
Yeah, that's what line of sight is. We have line of sight with it. We
Great.
see it.
Great. Now, Anthony, pull up the actual picture of this so we can see the discrepancy between the 2. And we'll see if there's land there or not. and I want you to scale I want you to scale the actual land took, so we can see the truth. Let's see if there's land there or not. I mean, you could look it up on Google. These pictures are easily found.
Right, they are.
Such as right now, yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, thank you for proving flat Earth. So we see the same. Well done. What was your point again?
So,
sorry, I didn't seem to get an answer. So
What's
we
your
have
point?
the
Now scale
same.
it.
Sorry,
Scale
we have
it.
the same. We have the
Scale it.
same mountain. So we're now right on top of it.
Scale it. Scale it.
Scale it.
Because you have to. How are you gonna do anything if you don't scale it?
Sorry.
What is your point?
What is your
It's
point?
visible,
We see
it's
the same
there.
thing. We already
I'm
did
gonna
this at
get
the
there.
beginning of the other show. So I asked Anthony to go to Google Earth and show us what it looked like from Google Earth to show that we're seeing all of it. Now, if you want to claim that some of the obstruction right near the horizon, where we've many times documented that you do get this effect at the horizon, you need to explain why what we see on Google Earth is the same as what we see from the ground at huge distances beyond 30 miles.
You
Sorry.
might want to erase the
Are
top
you saying
horizon
that
part,
this
'cause that's-
picture is of a 300 feet tippy top of the thing that we now see in Google Earth? Is that what you're going to assert?
Explain the discrepancy.
What discrepancy?
There is
on the
not.
left side.
You can
Left
see
side
it's
there.
on your screen.
On the left side.
Sorry,
Right
what
side,
discrepancy?
sorry.
What discrepancy?
The bendiness. We're right where the mouse is right now. There's a bend there, but in the top image
What
on
you
the
guys
paint-
don't realize is
Guess what? The Google is an actual model. It's not.
Hang on a sec. Hang on.
I put
This
the
guy
picture up
points
on
out-
the chat.
Wait, this guy pointed out that there was a lighthouse at the bottom here. This is the bottom, right? That bit
Doesn't
there
matter.
represents this bit down here.
Don't care.
I mean, you
So
don't
what's the
care.
problem? I
Okay,
don't-
sod
I
off
don't
then,
see
you
the discrepancy.
reality denier. Pointing out the obvious and observable nature of the
pictures
flat
ma-
world. If you just want to argue and say I don't care, sod off. You don't deserve to be here.
No, what is this
Make-
discrepancy? Can you point out the discrepancy, please?
Make the pictures match.
They do match. They're on screen. Anybody can look at them. What the hell are you talking about?
I think what he's talking about is that there's a slightly different profile or silhouette shape of the
No,
mountain.
it's not that. It's not caused. The slightly different silhouette is being caused by something, but you guys are ignoring that.
No. It's caused by a different angle of view.
No, it's
No,
caused
but
by.
instead of us all trying to guess what your point is, dude, could you maybe just make it? Assume Anthony spent the time to match those up and show there's a slight discrepancy in
take
the
long.
silhouettes. What would be your point?
You cannot match those two photos. That's my point.
And
Yes, that's because
what's the
that one is not a
right.
photo. It's
Sorry,
a model.
Okay,
It's a
What's the
photo.
conclusion that you draw? What's the conclusion? Sorry, is the conclusion? Should I spit it out for you? That actually, no.
Yeah.
2/3 of it is missing behind the curve of the Earth. The other 2/3 is being loomed up from behind the curve of the Earth, thanks to refraction. Is that your conclusion based on the fact that they don't match?
What is yours?
I
No, but
don't
what do you
have
mean
a
they don't
conclusion.
match? They
I'm
match.
saying
All right, so shut up.
we see the mountain.
You don't
We
know.
see the mountain.
Hang on.
We
Hang
have
on, I think-
explanations for this, and you
Hang
ignore
on. I
them.
think. No.
What
I
do you
think
mean
you're
they don't
misunderstanding
match?
the
Explain
position
that
here.
still. You haven't
In the
gotten there
video-
yet. Like, what are you talking about? They don't match. They do match. Can you explain in detail how they don't match?
Nummy.
See
come
Beatles
on,
trying to
man.
join.
You can see that they don't match, dude.
No, I can't
No.
see that they don't match.
So
Yes,
what are
you-
you saying?
so they
It's not
match
the
perfectly
same
is what
line
you're
of
saying.
your point, man.
No,
I'm
the
saying-
point is that you cannot make them match because you're not seeing what you're seeing.
Right, because it's
No.
all looming around the curve.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's a reason
you're
why.
right. complete buffoon.
right.
I often
So they look
hear
slightly
that
different,
most
therefore
retarded-
conclusion, everything's looming from up
What's your
behind the
reason?
curve of the Earth. That's an absolute nonsense conclusion to
I
draw.
proposed to you that it was a different profile due to a different angle, and you said that that wasn't the problem. So you said that was something else. So I'm saying, what is it that how are you claiming that these images don't match? Can you just explain that in detail, please?
Yeah,
Like what-
take that
One
image.
of these is not like the other one.
Yeah, and what's the conclusion? How do they not match?
Question: everyone here watched Sesame Street, right? You learn how to compare A and B and look for differences.
Yes. So do it.
Okay, good.
So do it.
Right, can I? Am I still screen sharing?
Yeah, do it with that one too.
I want you to tell me what this light is down the bottom here.
It doesn't matter.
It's a lighthouse that's on the beach, and it's just off picture.
Zoomed up, great.
I didn't call the image.
Using to explain what you're claiming. You're just asserting that these don't match, but you're not explaining what you mean. That's the problem here. Explain it in detail. What's the problem with that? Just tell us.
Well, hang on.
One of them looks like a pyramid, and the other one looks like a rock. It's obvious difference. What the fuck? Sorry.
Hang on a minute. So what you're saying is that like this
one looks like a pyramid,
doesn't match
and
this
the other
groove.
one like
but
a
that
rock.
has to do with the elevation angle that you're looking at it from in Google.
It doesn't
right?
matter.
The profile is going to change as you raise your.
Hang on. So you're saying that the groove that's here
It doesn't matter out here.
If
is
there
not
is no
the same groove
looping,
here.
they should look the same.
Well, no, they shouldn't change. There's
Yes,
a
they
5-degree
should.
change in rotation. That's the first thing. Secondly, you're 8 miles closer, so they can't look the same. They are going to look different.
They have
but
to
you can
look
see
the
that they
same.
are fundamentally the same.
No, every time you change the
Or
angle of view,
are they
you're gonna change
fundamentally the same?
profile.
Yeah.
Are they the same island or what?
Yeah, basically they're the same.
They're different.
Seeing
Or
all
are
of
they
it
exactly the same island?
should all
Come on,
basically
man.
be
They
gone.
are the same island, except
All
the
right.
bottom
Are they
part,
fundamentally-
it's distorted because it's in the refraction band. It's closest to the
It's
sea. There's
distorted.
distortion happening right there.
Right, you can see distortion up till halfway up, dude.
No,
They
not
can't.
halfway up.
See that black line? See that black line? That's the distortion. And in the lower picture where there is a lighthouse that's on the shore, it's only about 70 feet high. In the upper image, you've got a very suspicious looking black line. Yeah? That's distortion. The 200 feet of it that you think is distorted and the bottom half is being
It's
refracted
being
up from behind the
squashed
curve of
up.
the earth, that's just a nonsense assertion, just so story. Jackanory time from the Ballers.
All right, I got a question.
Milo
for you
is
guys.
suggesting that it's
subtle
all
differences
looming
between the
all
images that
behind the
you're
curve, all
describing have
into
to do with the
visibility,
angle
and
of
that's
view.
what causing this distortion. This guy is so far out there.
Guys, I made
There's
my
no
point.
talking
Does this
to this
prove the
guy.
flat Earth?
Yeah,
Does this prove
looks
the
the
flat Earth?
same.
Yes or no?
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it.
Yes?
It's there.
Yeah, thanks, Alkay,
This is
for
the
this
proof.
line of
wonderful
sight.
flat
This
Earth
is
proof.
proof?
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
This is
Alkay.
scientific proof.
This is not like
Yeah.
No, it's not
Visibility,
scientific
straight
proof.
line
No.
of sight.
This is okay. So what's the independent variable? What's the observed
I just said
phenomenon?
it's not
What's the
scientific
independent
proof.
variable?
An island.
it's not scientific
there.
proof, no.
You can see it
Observed
at a
phenomenon
great
is that
distance.
Logical
don't appear to drop
consistency
behind
proof.
curves.
No, Anthony, go ahead. Yeah,
So
Anthony,
it's
what?
not
There's no
science, it's a
phenomenon to be
logical
had.
consistency proof.
Yeah, it's obviously and observably flat from this observation.
No, it's scientific.
No need to
Scientific
insert
proof, so
any
I wanna know
presuppositions
how
into
they
that.
arrived at that.
You're
No
looming.
need to insert any presuppositions which are not backed by any sort of science. It's obvious and observable.
Right.
It's a logical
It's
proof,
obviously,
not a
right?
scientific
Yeah,
Can you
obviously
arrive
and
to-
observably flat. Yeah, that's why we see it all. Yeah, even when you use your maths and presuppose there's a curve, it doesn't work out. That's not what we see. Do you get it, guys? Your globe myth
Right.
is falling to pieces. Yeah, right, it is. Falling to pieces
should-
before your very eyes.
Show another sunset.
Can
What
I
does
sing
that
a
prove?
song?
Hey, Dawn,
hello
Trevor.
again.
Hey, Dawn.
I'd like to argue that you're not seeing all of it, and if you are, so what? It doesn't make Earth flat. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it does.
It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it does, Dawn.
It's visible.
It doesn't. It doesn't make Earth
Not
flat.
Oh, well, that's
behind the
just
curve.
a
It's
nah,
not
it
looming, It's
doesn't.
not behind the curve.
That's
it's
a crap
not
argument,
straight
Dawn.
line of
So
sight.
why do we care?
It's there.
Why
Crap
does
argument,
anyone
Dawn.
care you saw a mountain that everyone always sees?
Yeah, because it's flat as a pancake, and that's why we can see it. Yeah? It's not being obscured by any earth curve, Dawn. I know this is hard for you. Don't take my ball away, but it
Pancakes
isn't
aren't flat.
being obscured,
It is
Dawn.
flat.
It's because it's flat.
Pancakes aren't flat.
Yeah, the observation's
Oh,
the same.
yeah, and that football court
Globe allows for looming.
was not a flat football
Just
court.
so you know.
Oh, hold on.
We need a
What's
talking
that, Dawn?
stick. Except,
Hold on, Dawn's got a new argument. Let's hear Dawn's argument before the end of the show. This should be good for a laugh.
The dawn, the fucking science allows for
Yeah, I'm
looming.
not swearing.
So
Sorry about
science.
the swear.
Oh, really? Science, you say?
I would
So
like to just do some
see that,
science.
Milo? We didn't assert anything about science, but Dawn just has, because he's deluded into thinking that science is on his side. So how does
Let's talk
science
about
say looming
perspective.
exists, Dawn?
You don't think science is on my side?
What
really
do you
wanna
tell me?
share my-
Let's find out. So, looming dawn, what's the observed phenomena? Take your time, my friend.
You deny looming?
Take your time.
You
The
deny
globe model
looming.
allows for looming. What do you want me to say?
You just said you've got science on your side and then asserted
You didn't-
looming.
Yeah,
Now I'm asking you to go through the science with me, Dawn. So, Dawn, what's the observed phenomena in your science?
Things are.
We have physicists on it.
Sorry, Dawn. You're obviously slow or deaf, so I'll say it again. Your observed phenomenon, Dawn. That's step 1 in the scientific method. I don't need you to appear